In a desolate mansion that loomed like a spectre in the heart of a forgotten forest, resided a solitary Gothic girl named Evangeline. Her life was veiled in shadow, and her demeanour was as enigmatic as the moonless nights she adored. Evangeline had an obsession with the macabre and the supernatural, and her solitary existence within the decaying walls of her ancestral home only deepened her fascination. One fateful evening, as the rain poured relentlessly and the howling wind rattled the windows, Evangeline uncovered a spellbook hidden in the darkest recesses of her library. The book was bound in faded leather, and its pages were filled with sinister incantations, one of which promised to raise the dead. Her curiosity and desire for power led her to make a reckless decision. She meticulously followed the ancient incantation, her voice quivering as she chanted the forbidden words. Unbeknownst to her, the incantation was a curse, a malevolent force that sought to corrupt the very fabric of life and death. As the incantation reached its crescendo, a wave of darkness swept through the room, and the ground shook as if it were the earth's final lament. From the nearby cemetery, the graves of her ancestors burst open, and the deceased began to claw their way to the surface. The reanimated corpses, once at peace, had now become ravenous, decaying monsters. Their milky eyes burned with an insatiable hunger for flesh. Panic overcame Evangeline as her family, one by one, succumbed to the curse, becoming grotesque, undead abominations. She frantically tried to reverse the spell, but her trembling hands failed to articulate the words needed to break the dark magic. In despair, Evangeline fled to the darkest corner of her mansion, barricading herself in the study. The once peaceful abode became a prison, with the mindless, undead remnants of her family clawing at the doors, moaning for her flesh. As days turned into endless, tormenting nights, her family's wails of anguish grew louder, a haunting symphony of misery. Her heart was heavy with regret, for she had unwittingly become the architect of her family's suffering. As time passed, her own strength waned, and her spirits grew dim. There was no way to reverse the curse, no hope of redemption. The mansion, once filled with the laughter and warmth of her family, was now a tomb of eternal despair. In the end, Evangeline was consumed by the same curse that had befallen her family. She joined their ranks as another undead, mindlessly seeking flesh in a never-ending cycle of horror. The mansion, once the symbol of her solitude and the pursuit of forbidden knowledge, stood as a silent sentinel of tragedy and darkness. The forest reclaimed the mansion, and the memory of the Gothic girl who had brought about her own doom was lost to the ages. The curse she had unleashed remained, a haunting reminder of the dangers of meddling with forces beyond human comprehension. The unhappiness and torment she had caused were her legacy, and the darkness that enveloped her was a chilling testament to the perils of her reckless curiosity.